The following may contain offensive language, adult humor, and or content that some viewers may find offensive. The views and opinions expressed by any one speaker does not explicitly or necessarily reflect or represent those of Mark Radulich or W2M Network. Please listen with caution, or don't listen at all.
TV party tonight! What? TV party tonight!
Oh, we got nothing better to do than watch TV and have a couple of brews.
Don't want to talk about anything else.
We don't want to know.
We're dedicated to our favorite shows!
Oh, my circuits! Everybody loves Hippo Toad! Scary Dog! Dancing at Blurnsville!
Futurama!
Hello, 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 hello. Good evening and welcome to TV Party Tonight. I am your host, Alexis Hayden, and joining me, he knows what he did and he knows why he's here, Mr. Mark Radulich.
I've been a bad boy. Yes. I know what you did last summer week, and I have dragged Alexis with my hook, kicking and screaming into this briny deep of terrible streaming television.
That's putting it mildly. So yes, the new I Know What You Did Last Summer, the semi-sequel, semi-reboot, oh, what do you know? We could bitch forever about how Hollywood is out of ideas.
Legacy sequel is what I've heard it's being called.
Okay, I guess that's the new. That's the new thing after what they've been doing with the Scream movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like great, because that was actually not the last one, but the one before that was good. It's like now everyone's like, okay, good, copy paste.
Yeah.
We're getting another. We're going to get another Urban Legends coming soon.
Somebody threw out The Faculty, and I laughed at that.
I kind of like. Okay, I like The Faculty, but I like it because it's abundantly clear Robert Rodriguez called in every favor known to man to get that cast.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, because this Legacy sequel is coming out this week here at the Radulich and Broadcasting Network, we're looking at the franchise of I Know What You Did Last Summer. This was a popular horror movie in the, oh God, when did the first one come out again? I can't
1997.
1997. This was actually based off of a 1973 novel of the same name. I was kind of surprised. I legit didn't know this was based off of a book.
Yeah, I knew that it was based off of a book, but tomorrow when we do the Long Road to Ruin on the two theatrical features and the one stupid directed video, I'll talk about the differences from the book. But the legacy of I Know What You Did Last Summer was Scream's like kid sister. It was like Scream kind of reinvents the slasher genre, and then Hollywood goes through this period of what else you got.
Oh yeah, there was a period in the late 90s, early 2000s where it was the second renaissance of what we got with films like Halloween and Black Christmas in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
And God bless Wes Craven, may he rest in peace. So the Scream movies were great, and we did get some really good teenage slashers out of this time period, and I would put the first I Know What You Did Last Summer actually in that category. Is it a landmark film? No. Is it a horror icon? No. Does the killer deserve to be right up there with Freddy Krueger, Jason, Michael Myers, and Art the Clown? Hell no. But it's still good, and I think it deserves to be looked at. But of course, that doesn't stop Hollywood from milking the hell out of this thing because, again, we got another sequel, which was okay, but it had some serious logic flaws, especially the fact that the girls win a contest by answering a question wrong, and anyone who has passed 7th grade geography knows this.
Let me tell you, so I watched the first one last night with my girlfriend, and I actually loved it. I did a TikTok on it to kind of promote all the stuff that we're doing tonight, this week, and Monday when we do the movie review. And I really liked the movie. I had a lot of glowing things to say about this. It's not perfect. Nothing is. And it wouldn't be me if I didn't complain about something. But I'd say for the most part, it was a win. It was a solid movie. And then I watched the second one today. Yikes. Hot fucking garbage.
Yeah, I owe a lot to the first one also with the chemistry of our lead actors. We got Jennifer Love Hewitt, Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Ryan Phillippe. This was at the start of their careers. They had all done a couple of other things, but this was their first, I think this was like one of their first really big breakout films. And all four actors worked incredibly well together. It was insanely well casted.
Agreed.
So, and that owes a lot to it. And that also, I think, owes partly to this TV series because there is no chemistry on this screen. There is, I think at one point I wrote on this, it's like, can we just call this podcast How to Write a Terrible Series in 8 Episodes? Because this is some of the dumbest writing I have ever seen in a TV series. Ever.
Yeah. So, I don't know where you want to start, and I don't want to get ahead of you. But this show is by far one of the worst things I've ever seen. But it's even worse than that. I don't think this was ever meant to be what it was. And I will explain that if you want. If you want me to hold it, make sure you come back to me because it's kind of like the one thing I want to talk about.
Well, let me go ahead and get the specifics out here. So this came out in October of 2021, 8 episodes on Amazon Prime, created by Sarah Goodman, brought to us by Offsetter Incorporated, original film, Mandalay Television, Atomic Monster, Amazon Studios, Sony Pictures, and is that Sony Pictures Television? Yeah, that's all one thing. Sony Pictures Television. So, you know what? Why don't you go ahead and start?
Okay.
Go ahead.
So the way that the show comes across is that they wanted. I think this original inception was yet again kind of like with the Bondsman. This was a movie. The movie pitch was, what if we did a story about these two twins, and one's a whore, one's a goody two shoes, and the whore is whoring, but then she dies. And the good sister has to assume her identity and what that feels like and how she has to deal with all of these relationships that the whore was having and with her dad. And oh, by the way, there's a cult and it's in Hawaii and there's a lot of fun, weirdo stuff here. And they went, that's great. But we want to make things for streaming series because we want people to be on platforms more. So that's where the money is. There's no money in an unknown doing an original thing as a streaming movie. Instead, we'll give you the same budget, just make an 8-hour movie, and we'll call it a TV show. And they were like, okay, do you have any other notes for us other than how to take our 90-minute premise and stretch it for 8 hours? Yes, attach it to something we already know. Fuck! So they're like, well, what do you have? And they're like, here's a list of IPs we're currently doing nothing with. Go make something. And then after a bottle of whiskey, cocaine, copious amounts of glue, a donkey kick.
I was going to say copious amounts of ketamine, considering that's what our heroes take.
Like I said, a donkey kick, a donkey punch. And then one of the writers' daughter walked in the room, said, "Skibbity toilet." And they went like, yes, let's do a Gen Z, I know what you did last summer TV series. They're like, it doesn't really fit into what we're doing here. Make it the first 2 or 3 episodes, and then we'll go into like what the real movie is. They're like, all right. And so after making a deal with the devil and penning this thing in their own blood and sacrificing a goat, we got this show, which was canceled in 1 season by Amazon because nobody fucking watched this thing.
I can already hear the devil down in hell going, whoa, do not associate me with this shit.
I was not a part of this. Sir, like, looking up at me, Radulich, once again, you've besmirched the good name of Satan.
Yeah, Satan's like, hey, shit like this is no good to me because everybody prays.
For it to be over.
Exactly. That's actually a line from God, the Devil, and Bob. It's like when they're on a plane and it starts shaking and they look at one of the guys looks at the devil and goes, "Is this yours?" And he goes, "No, turbulence is no good to me." Everyone prays. I love that scene. But yes, so we have 6 teenagers, 6, 7. My God, I think 6. Okay. Focusing mostly on these 2 twins, Allison and Lennon. I already love that apparently somebody thought that these parents would give one child a hipster new, oh, look, I'm so trendy name, and the other one a traditional name. Because that's not the way parents think. So, yes, Lennon is the drug addicted, whore, OnlyFans, bitch, crazy ass sister. Allison is good, weird, boring, doesn't like her sister, and through the dumbest of circumstances,
So dumb.
Lennon is killed when Allison and Lennon's friends hit her with their car.
Hit that motherfucker with a car.
Although they all think that Allison is Lennon and they've killed Allison. And so they decide to do what they do, and I Know What You Did Last Summer, and hide the body and say, we're never going to talk about this again. And then Allison and Lennon's father, Bruce, who is more benign than the parents in Paranormal Activity 4, says, okay, well, I don't want to lose my second daughter, so since they think you're Lennon, then you will become Lennon, and you have to act like Lennon, and I will call you Lennon, and you got to go to college in place of Lennon, even though Lord knows what the fuck either of these sisters were doing, studying or whatever, and we're going to pretend that Allison ran away from home, and I want you to write Allison's runaway letter. And then Allison's like, oh, and by the way, Lennon was a cutter. She did self-harm, so I got to make the scars in the same place. And I okay, there was a line. Okay, these are all my notes. Continues on the second page. And
it's really funny that you're doing all this, because I was watching these kind of like late at night or intermittently while I was working or doing other stuff. So I kind of half watched this stuff. And there was a point where I had to stop and do a Jesse and ask Fancy. For those that don't know, Fancy is what I named my AI, like a pet. You know, like you would name a dog. Mine is Fancy. So I asked Fancy. Fancy's a girl, by the way. I named her after. I named ChatGPT after a throwaway character from Superman. From The Toy with Jackie Gleason. I'm fucking weird. Deal with it. Anyway, so I asked Fancy, and I'm like, I don't understand what's happening. Did the whore sister die, and the goody two shoes became the whore sister for no good reason that I could discern? And Fancy was like, yes, some sweet summer child. I'm like, Fancy, is this not the dumbest thing ever committed to television? It is, good sir, it is. I mean, all right, carry on.
There's a line about, I'd say, 2/3 of the way down, says, I've lost count of the contrived moments. Hey, two lines later, I have lost count of my WTF moments. So again,
I like your line to me where like I'm midway through this and I'm already sorry for doing this.
By the end of episode 3, I Googled who the killer was. Not because, okay, now I know that sometimes we watch like suspenseful stuff and it's like, I just gotta know because you're too excited and you look ahead. Like, how many of us have gotten so into a book, it's like, what's on the very last page? I gotta know. You know, This was not it. This was, can I just go to the last chapter and pretend that I read this piece of shit?
Well, by the end of the show, it doesn't really matter anymore.
Nor does it make any sense whatsoever. I am convinced. Okay, we'll get to it later about who the killer is, but I cannot find a single clue, hint, suggestion, whatever, that this girl was the killer.
So I have some insight. So again, Jesse and I have both talked about how we'll either like read books or watch TV shows or whatever, and we'll stop and talk to the AI because like we need to confer with the expert.
I just talk to you. I don't use AI. It's like I'm not calling AI. I'm calling Mark and say, "What hell hath you drugged me into?"
Well, I do, and I'm watching this. This is like early on into my watch, and I was like, and I'm complaining to the AI about the show, and it fires back at me. It was like, yeah, basically somebody watched Euphoria with Zendaya and was like, that, but a horror show.
That actually makes all the sense in the world.
But a slasher show. And I'm like, oh, it's like, so basically what the initial intention was like, let's make a show about a cult and twin sisters and mistaken identity, but let's make it like Euphoria. But it's like Steve Buscemi wrote this as his character that went, hello, fellow youth. Like this is this is the most obtuse fucking. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. I'm tired. Words are hard, but like this show intrinsically doesn't get youth language, but just palely imitates it. And again, I don't think they. By the way, Margot did it. I don't think the writers were really committed to like the whodunit. I think they wanted to play more with the cult stuff, and they were like, okay, but we still have to kind of resolve the "I know what you did last summer" part of this. They were like, well, just say it's Margot then, and then because this is 2021 and we're firmly in the "we hate men" part, history of Hollywood, we'll have Margot run off with Allison, not Lennon, and the guy, the dopey boy in all of this will get framed for everything, and won't this set the genders up for equality for the next 1,000 years? I feel dumber for having said that out loud, by the way.
I felt dumber every time Margot uttered something, and I refuse to believe that's Gen Z slang at all. In fact, first note in the book, these writers were never teenagers, were they?
No. This was,
no.
I almost guarantee you this was written by AI.
Either that or it was written by somebody who spent their teenage years locked in the basement, never actually going outside.
No one who worked on this show has ever seen a child.
Pretty much. So, okay, so we got the characters. Yeah, we got the twins. We got Riley, who you can never really get a fix on him. His mother is a hippie who organizes a 5K naked fun run because apparently someone said, you know what, we need a lot more dicks. Let's show a lot more dicks. Not just tits, not just his and ass. We need dicks. Full painted body dicks, including a guy painted as a giraffe getting kicked out of a diner.
I've seen you uncomfortable talking about sex. I've never seen you mad. This is hilarious. You're just like, and another thing, I'm tired of seeing penises. Look, I'm as straight as an arrow, but there's too much dick on TV for me. Alexis Hana of Honeysuckle Rose Creations.
I'm not against nudity on TV, okay? I'm not against nudity in film, television, whatever. We talked about this when we did our Oscar review and talked about, my God, what?
Poor Things.
Thank you. It's like, wait, which trippy movie was that again? I couldn't even remember. But I can't stand scenes that insert shit like that, and it serves no purpose. It doesn't add to the story. It doesn't add to the style.
For purposes, when they were in the writing room, they were just like, you know what? I don't like what? The male gaze. Well, how do we counteract that? Lots of dick. That's how.
Like I said, I can't stand scenes like that where it's just obvious that was inserted because somebody said this needs more dicks or this needs more nudity or whatever. Okay,
Let me tell you. You know me. I'm big sexy pervert. This between the what's so funny is that you would think this show would appeal to me because it's lots of cursing and lots of sex, and neither appealed to me. Even the sex felt awkward.
Extremely. Not to mention, okay, so I think it's like the 4th or 5th episode, we find out that Lennon had an OnlyFans and she used her sister's name under it, which is a level of douchebaggery that I didn't know existed. And you get this weird, I guess she like made a trailer for her OnlyFans. I didn't know that was, I don't go to OnlyFans, so if that's something that can be done,
you don't have some subscriptions? Come on now.
I get my porn free like the rest of us. Thank you very much.
That's fair.
No, seriously.
I don't pay for mine either.
Seriously, though, if this is something you do on OnlyFans, I didn't know, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But it's a weird-ass scene with a lot of weird edits showing, I think it's supposed to be her ass in a thong, and the scene of her having gratuitous sex with Margot, and I'm sitting there going, wait a minute, Margot is a social media celebrity with like 1 million followers, and she has a sex tape out? I don't think those really work together. Unless we're going for like a Kim Kardashian thing, which I don't think we're doing, considering like the shit that we see Margot do for her Insta.
For my money, the sexiest thing in this entire show was Margot eating a cake.
You said it. There are a few things in this world that can't be solved with red velvet.
This is true.
And yeah, I just watched. I'm like, oh, again, this feels like there were a lot of scenes, not just episodes,
Mhm.
but scenes that were taken over by different writers and directors. We've reviewed shows before where it was clear that a different writer or a different director took over every episode because the tone just goes up and down and up and down and back and forth. This had moments in every episode where it was just like, okay, I'm done handing this off to a different production crew, because then it gets like that, and then it gets arty, and then they do like they're trying to do like a found footage thing because we're cutting to the security cameras.
Yeah.
And then we have a scene where apparently the teenagers find a dead body, but all we see is them running out and not actually talking about the dead body, just screaming. And we're like, well, are you going to show us the dead body or not? But no, they wanted to wait to see this weird male cop. I never figured out what the hell was going on with him before he got killed, who just keeps saying the weirdest shit, finding out that the dude was killed by being hooked up to a slushy machine. And I'm sitting there going, that was from a Treehouse of Horror, Death by Squishy. That actually did happen.
Yeah, like I said, the show is schizophrenic in the sense of it really wanted to be one thing, but it had to, because it's called I Know What You Did Last Summer. There was a master it had to serve. And then I think like they probably had a solid show here, and then it was noted to death. I guarantee you, like, I think Amazon is kind of known for some quality shows like The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Jack Reacher, Jack Ryan. There are some halfway decent shows on Amazon, but a lot of their stuff is crap. And I think like the executives at Amazon Prime really struggled to figure out like what to do. And so they were, I talked about this on one of my TikToks, how a lot of green lighting and executive noting is now done by algorithm.
Mhm.
A lot of it, they have software that does algorithms that kind of selects for them what would maximize their resources to create the most profit. And there's no like human thought involved, which is how you get things like fucking Snow White, but or Megan for that matter. My point is, I have a sneaking suspicion that's what this process was like. It was like, all right, this is a fine show and all, but when we threw it into the algorithm, it said more stupid slasher stuff, but you have to make it really creative looking. More this, more that, more penises. Just the algorithm screaming from the computer, more penises. God damn it! The male gaze. We have to offset the male gaze.
And probably the biggest flaw with this show is that none of these besides that, none of these characters are likable.
Not a single one. Oh boy. I never wanted Hawaii to be bombed since World War II. It was so bad. Just, oh God.
It's like, okay, the characters in the original, I Know What You Did Last Summer, again, Jennifer Love Hewitt, Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Phillippe. We know they're not the best people. We know, I know Ryan Phillippe's character is kind of a cocky asshole.
I was going to say, he's the only one out of that group of four that I legitimately want to see dead. Everybody else is like, they're kids and they're dealing with a terrible moral quandary. And well, it's, what they should have done was X, but they were convinced to do Y out of fear, out of immaturity, etc. But the Jennifer Love Hewitt character, Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar were genuinely likable people. The only one that wasn't likable was Ryan Phillippe, as opposed to this piece of garbage, where, again, these are supposed to. I've never seen Euphoria, and according to Fancy, I'd hate it.
I haven't watched it either. I just don't have time.
It kept telling me that this is Euphoria, and I'm like, okay, well, would I like Euphoria? And Fancy hasn't stopped laughing since I asked it that question.
Well, and again, even Ryan Phillippe's character, even though he's an asshole, he is still likable because of the loyalty to his friends. There's that scene where Sarah Michelle Gellar's character has to go on stage and she's freaking out. She's terrified. And he's like, I'm going to protect you. Okay, you'll be all right. And he gives her a big hug. And again, great chemistry between these two. And he wants to defend his friends. And it's like, okay, you're not a great guy, but there is redeemable character there. There is nothing redeemable about any of these kids. And if there was anything redeemable at all, okay, so we have Johnny, who was killed off way too early in a very badly edited death scene. We have Riley or Rai Rai, who we're supposed to feel sorry for because she's dirt poor and her mother is a skank. There's no other way to put it. But she's also a drug dealer. So
Oh, is this the one that like is like encased in honey by the end of the show?
yeah.
Oh, my favorite thing is that they thought this was getting a second season, so they had the big thing at the end is that her eyes open after again being covered in honey for several episodes.
And being stuck in that freezer with all the other specimens, I'm assuming that was like an evidence locker kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Which is still weird. It's like, okay, that's still a human body. I'm like 90% certain that should go to the morgue and like be given to the family for a funeral.
Yeah.
Even though, her mother is also killed, and probably the only creative death scene in the whole movie. Although it's so bizarre. It's like, okay, who figured out the engineering skills to pull that off?
It is funny. Like, there are even like in the main cast, nobody is likable. Your main character is somebody who's a pretty girl and everything, and gosh, she's trying with this material, but she's not a likable character either. Nope. And then like, okay, well maybe the townspeople will be likable. Nope. Well, maybe there'll be something interesting about the killer. Nope.
Nope.
Swing and a miss all around. Not a single connection from bat to ball.
And Margot. I'm not joking. Every time that girl opened her mouth, I could feel my brain cells just like popping
Just committing suicide.
one at a time. Yeah. It's like I'm going to name my first brain tumor after this character. It's just so stupid, made no sense. And again, I honestly think they just pulled it out of their hat that she was the killer.
Oh yeah, they fucking threw. They got to the end of the show and were like, "Oh wait, we haven't resolved this yet."
Yeah, I mean, how many scenes do we see her by herself reacting to something scary? And it's like, if you're the killer, who are you doing this for?
Right.
This is why a good suspense is that they hide multiple character reactions. And the only one you really see reacting is like the main character, the one who is not the killer. So then you have reason to suspect multiple people.
Yeah. I keep saying it. I'll say it differently this time. I don't think anyone making the show was really committed to the "I know what you did last summer" element of it. I think they had to throw it in there in order to get. Let's put it this way: if this was hot, stupid Hawaiian murder people, right? Would we have watched this? No.
No.
I mean, I don't want to do it right now, but let's go on Amazon and look at all their shows, and anything that's not a pre-existing IP, is that something that you would want to watch? Maybe The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, maybe, but that's about it.
Yeah,
not a lot on Amazon that really jumps out at you that is like, oh, this is something I would want to watch, and it has no pre-existing IP. There's no other hook to this thing. So this would be just one of those shows if it even got made without that. We're only talking about it because they did another I Know What You Did Last Summer coming out this Friday.
I honestly didn't even know the show existed until you told me about it. You're like, hey, I want to throw this on because it's I Know What You Did Last Summer week. And I was like, there was a TV show? Oh, well, hot damn, there was. Okay.
Yeah.
So, we got that. We got Riley, who, very weird character. Especially when they try to wrap up. Okay. The stuff with the cult killed me because that is where a lot of the evidence of the bad writing comes from. Not just the no teenager talks like this, not just the, oh, wait, let's just shoehorn in all of these moments later on and people will just be like, oh, okay, so that's why I didn't figure it out. In what universe do they just say it's the cult? It was the cult. Look, they're part of the cult.
Only if you're talking about the band. Arr.
There's a band called The Cult?
Are you fucking serious? Please tell me you're kidding.
I'm kidding.
Okay, good. I can go
I
back
just
to what I'm
wanted to
doing
see.
now.
I just wanted to see your reaction.
That's a minute of my life I just lost. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, it's like they couldn't give them some kind of name, anything. Just no one sounds natural when they just say it's like. Again, you've worked in psychology. You've worked with people. It's like, who says just like it's the cult?
Only the people going to see the band.
So it just again, I just could not get over how bad the writing was for this.
Oh, it's so bad. Like I said, it's. Look, I'm not against like the nighttime soapy drama. I mean, for God's sake, fucking Pat and I did the 90210 reunion show as one of our podcasts. Like, I used to watch Melrose Place. I used to watch 90210. I'm not against that sort of thing. It's like, that's what they were going for, but it's just, they don't have the talent. Like, the only thing, like, say one good thing about this show or I'll kill myself tonight. It's a very, Hawaii is pretty. This is even like the prettiest part of Hawaii, but I think they were going for like an authentic Hawaiian kind of motif. They didn't want to do the touristy parts of it. It's like this is what people who live here look like. This is what the area looks like. Except that was the other really funny part about this is that it's like a mostly Caucasian cast.
Yeah, most of the native Hawaiians are supporting cast or killed off pretty quickly.
Right. Like, and I think they make up a majority of the police force. But this is the all women's fucking Pacific Islander police force. This sounds like a wrestling fucking faction.
It's like, again, I wrote on here, it's like these writers were never teenagers, were they? I'm also adding in there, they've never been to Hawaii, have they? No. Especially not in recent years. Hawaii sadly no longer looks anything like this. Not the giant Caucasian cast notwithstanding, but the fact is that Hawaii has pretty much been bought up by corporations who own all of the land. You want to live in Hawaii, you are going to have to make a ton of money because the cost of living there is astronomical. There is no cute little quaint village like that. Those kind of places just really don't exist anymore. Mm-hmm. And that's sad. That's very sad. It's like we would love to see a cute little quaint village like whatever the hell the name of this town was that I can't even remember. That's how much it sticks in your mind. And so many of the shots is like, okay, so every house, every building, you can either see the mountains or you can see the ocean. Is this a fictional island of Hawaii that they've put this on? Because I know that it's like I can't figure out where the hell on any of the islands this actually would take place on.
Did they say where this was shot? Did you happen to write that down in your research?
Let me take a look here.
I got it. You keep posting the show.
All right. But yeah, I can't help but feel like this was written by someone who was just like, maybe went to Hawaii as a kid and is like, let's set it in Hawaii because it's pretty. And sure, you can have the excuse now. It's like they're on an island. They can't escape. That does make a little bit more sense. I get that. But it just doesn't add up, and it adds to the implausibility of the style. Because towns like this don't exist. It's like, I want to go visit someplace like that.
Okay. The series began filming on Oahu.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I said, the only character who may have actually been decent was Johnny, and he's killed off stupidly early.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have, like they say, like there's this town clamoring for the murder of this woman that they think killed him, and it's 3 people outside. To which I'm going, okay, I understand this was probably not a high budget priority by Amazon, or they could have afforded to hire decent CGI artists for the rats and spiders. But you think they could have gotten a few more extras in the background.
Yeah.
And so much of this, they're trying to build it up as a mystery, and then they're trying to do the mystery within the mystery, which is the way you work. I mean, we review only Murders in the Building every season, and that's the way it ends up working, is that you have a mystery within the mystery, and then you wonder if that mystery is connected to this mystery, or if that's
actually a great point of comparison, because we we like Only Murders in the Building, not the least of which is because it has likable characters. It has a pretty inventive script. Like when you and me and Jesse talked about the last season, we talked about that. There's likable characters. There's a lot of really interesting hooks. There's some really cute misdirections to where it really does keep you guessing all season long. And then when you get to the end of it, it's always like Kaiser Soze reveal. We're like, oh, the answers were in front of me the whole time, you cheeky bastards. There's nothing like that here. Nothing
and again, they make you care about these characters.
Right.
There was not a single person on this show that I wanted to see make it. I would have been happy if they were all butchered by the end of this.
Well, I don't want to get too far ahead again, but like the show reconciles itself by the bad guys getting away with it and framing the one guy that was wanted to go to the police all along. What is the moral point of this show? We should all be shitty people.
But no, it's okay because he was a member of the cult, and we see him preaching to his fellow prisoners about the cult through what I think was the Bible thing that Allison's mother was looking for. Because again, there was another plot point that the writers realized they forgot to elaborate on, so they just threw in that 1 second shot saying, "Okay, there, resolved, done."
I know what you did last summer on Amazon Prime. More plots than the second Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Ouch.
Even the ship gets a plot line. So you Ask a Ninja fans.
And again, so many of these sequences make no sense. I wrote on here, it's like, quick, we need filler. Have a character stare at the ocean. That happens like 5 times.
I know you and I are not huge fans of the jumping back and forth in time Witcher style, but let me tell you how they made this even harder to follow by having the twin girls, and even better, let's dress them the same.
Oh, okay. This killed me. I can understand her doing Lennon doing Allison's makeup because she was trying to get Allison to hook up with Dylan or Riley, Dylan. But then Lennon decided to be a bitch and go hook up with.
I'm gonna write a show like this, but everyone's gonna have proper female names. I mean, Edna, Matilda, Mary Sue. Not these fucking Gen Z names, Lennon.
But that's what killed me, is that these two girls are supposed to be so so different. So just like, I am not like you. You are not like me. You do this, you do that. And they cut their hair the same and they wear the same clothes. And I'm just like, why? Why are you doing it like this? Allison, why are you wearing the same outfit as your slutty sister?
Because it's a plot contrivance because they have to do the mistaken identity thing for any of this to work. It's the dumbest shit. They can't have them look distinctive from each other, like real twins would be. Or the whole premise falls apart on its face. Because the only other way that it works is if they're not all together when it happens in the room where it happens. If Allison runs over Lennon and then like has to quick go home and tell her dad I done killed my sister, he's like, well, you get to be your sister now, and we're gonna say you ran away for no good reason. Okay, and then they can have them look distinctively different. But then this isn't I Know What You Did Last Summer. This is what I said at the beginning. This is an entirely different thing.
I don't even understand. Okay, I was willing to get away or understand that maybe they thought Allison was Lennon on the first night because most of them were high as fuck or drunk or whatever.
Like you do.
Of course. But afterwards, it's just like, you guys haven't picked up on this yet. It takes Margot to say, I realized it because all of your hashtags and Insta posts were all off. And I'm like, oh my God, that's literally the only reason you could think of why you knew this wasn't your girlfriend.
This makes me mad at you guys that you guys haven't been picking up on the way that I social media lately to notice that there's something amiss with me. I don't feel seen. Ugh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Should we go drive to Tampa and check your basement for pods because you've decided to do a different method of promoting the show on TikTok?
Yes. Also, there's no basements in Florida. It's fucking swampland.
Oh, yeah. Didn't we talk about this when we reviewed that one alligator movie?
Yes, Crawl. I was like, I think I can buy an alligator being the slasher. I can't buy the basement. I live here. The basement is full of cockroaches and swampland. If you dig beneath a house, you just get eaten by the cockroaches. That's all that happens. There's no basements. You got to go north for basements.
And speaking of believable attacks, what was up with Riley's death? She gets stabbed from behind through the chest by a machete.
Yep.
And I can take the whole not reacting, maybe in shock thing. I can take that. But then she falls. She gets her arm cut off and she doesn't budge. She just goes and pretends to be asleep. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're Jaime Lannister, Ash Williams, Luke Skywalker, all rolled into one. You get your arm cut off, you're gonna react.
You're full of shit. You were okay with the one character from Ahsoka being run through, and it's just a flesh wound. It'll be fine.
I don't even remember that, honestly. I have banished so much of Ahsoka. I don't know if I banished it or if that show was just so blasé that I've already completely forgotten.
I don't know. I don't want to comment on Star Wars anymore and anger people.
Oh, come on. Let's talk more about comparing the Jedi to Catholicism.
I will absolutely do that for the bright, learned people who are open to such topics, not the rest of you hoi polloi talking about lightsabers.
Well, Dorian and David aren't here, so why not?
Sure.
But yeah, I just was like, and I actually thought to myself, like, did they CG in her getting the arm cut off? And did the director forget to tell the actress, oh, by the way, you just got your arm cut off? Was that a post-production thing? And they're like, add that in, but she's not reacting to it. Don't care. Chop it. Chop, chop, chop.
Not to continually talk about the Acolyte now, but I am.
Oh, dear God.
Shut up. Listen, I'm definitely noticing, because if you don't like the Acolyte, I can also make the same point with Game of Thrones. And actually, and I don't want to completely steal this and not give credit. I want to say it was either like Echo Chamberlain or somebody else made a point of saying, like, the rapid rate at which television is produced now in order to meet the streaming demand, shit's getting missed. There's continuity errors all over the place, not the least of which was the famous Starbucks cup in Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm. Or the dude in the jeans and t-shirt in The Mandalorian.
Okay, I didn't even know about that one. But there were continuity errors in The Acolyte, and I don't mean plot holes. I mean legit, like, things are not the same. Oh, God, the example that I'm pulling from, somebody talked about like a basketball pass where the guy like passes it, they cut, and he catches it. He literally passed it to himself. So my point is, like, I think a lot of like this show is shoddy workmanship because they are at such a rapid pace to get an 8-hour movie shot, edited, and uploaded to the server in order to meet the demand. I would not be surprised if there were a bunch of different like production and continuity issues with this thing, where the showrunner's doing the best they can, but you know they can't follow things well enough or pay close enough attention because they're on a time crunch. I think it's the same problem you have with the animators in modern animated features where they have to turn things around so much they don't get things rendered appropriately. Such is the state of filmmaking right now.
That wouldn't make sense. It also wouldn't surprise me if this thing got over-edited and hacked to teeny tiny bits.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're not a horror fan, but I know you've seen your fair share of slasher films.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in a slasher film, you do not need to see every death on screen.
Mm-hmm.
It does get overdone. It does get annoying, and then it turns into the Child's Play remake. But this show, so many of the deaths were off screen. I just was there and go, it's like, can we actually, it's like, I know what you did last summer. It's slasher, it's gory, it's bloody, it's a killer on the loose. Can we like actually see some of these kills?
Well, no, then you lose part of your audience. Everything has to be blanded to death so as to maximize the audience potential.
So you say blanded to death. I say edited out. I think that they decided to edit all of those. I think those scenes were filmed and then they cut all of them.
Probably. They probably submitted the reels to Amazon for approval, and they were like, all right, run it through the algorithm. And the algorithm's like, this is fine if you only want to make this for, a certain segment of adults. No, we're a streaming service. We want to make it for everybody. Oh, well, then you have to put Smurfs in it, and musicals and lightsabers. And they were like, it's not really what the show is, though. They're like, well, just take out a lot of the gory stuff then.
Thank God we're not reviewing the new Smurfs movie. I couldn't handle it.
I would quit the podcast. This is my name in the marquee, and I would quit my own podcast. There's no fucking way.
I can't
I'm
even
actually surprised
imagine.
you and David aren't doing that one. You guys do all the cartoons.
You mean Zach?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, no. I saw the trailer for that, and when they said there was new influencer Smurf, I said, I basically said, just like, cock the gun. It's like, I'm done.
Not Smurfette voiced by Rihanna, where it sounds like the Family Guy joke of, well, this is why the Muppets all sound wrong.
Wrong. I should say, I've
Waka
also
Waka Kermit.
Waka Waka, who wants to hear a funny ass joke? I will say, I've also realized the trend that when this happens in trailers, there have been like one or two exceptions, but for the most part, when this happens in trailers, it's something that I say automatically, nope. It's when they advertise the soundtrack. It's like featuring new music by blah, blah, blah. It's like, that was such a thing in the 90s because the soundtracks were like a major
Will
selling
Smith's
point.
fucking career.
Exactly. But nowadays it feels incredibly desperate. So if I see it's like featuring new music by blah, blah, especially when it's new music by, oh, look, who's that doing the voice acting? Why, it's the same person who's headlining the soundtrack. What are the odds?
Everyone's Jack Black. Jack Black playing first base. Jack Black playing second base. Jack Black playing outfield. Jack Black playing pitcher. Jack Black playing pitcher. Jack Black playing catcher. Jack Black.
I think I'll perplex him with my slow ball.
I am Steve.
Still haven't seen Minecraft, and I refuse to.
Okay, movies almost made $1 billion, but you save your $20. You go, girl.
It's
You
on
have-
streaming now. I just don't give a damn.
Okay, Alexis.
Well, I
You're
didn't play Minecraft either, so I legit have no interest whatsoever. Boy, I'm trying to find anything else to talk about than this show, okay?
Boy. Well, we could talk about the father banging the cop in the what was it? Was it like a porta potty or a shed or some shit?
I have no idea.
Can we talk about also the forced weirdo sex in this thing? Because there's normal sex in it, then there's weirdo sex in it. Like the one video that I think Allison gets, and it's her dad getting pegged. That was my favorite part of the whole series.
I never understood. It's like, wait,
you
so
don't understand pegging? You want me to explain it to you? I will take the next 15 minutes and do this for you.
You want us to get flagged on YouTube? Because this is how we get flagged on YouTube. No, I didn't understand that. Okay, so apparently the cops set the camera up, handcuffed the dad, plowed his brains out,
Like
and then she says, "Oh, and check this out," and she sends him a copy of the video of it. It was just like that.
Well, sure. He has to put it on his FetLife. What? I live in this world.
Yeah, and I forget about it all of the time. No, I just thought, again, it's like, wow, again, bad writing.
What do you think
they
his
needed
FetLife name was called? It's like FetLife handle. Is it like Peggy Sue got pegged?
You've had way too much free time to think of this, Mark.
I just thought of that. I am amused.
I'm glad.
Peggy Sue got plowed.
Oh my god.
I love it when I can make you cry from laughter.
And then, yeah, the cop goes from, it's like, I'm just fine with this crazy, dom sub sex thing we got going on. But then in the end, they're sort of engaged. And it's like, again, it's like, did we miss a page? Nope. We just want a scene of him saying he's going to get her a big honking diamond
it's a
rock.
Hawaiian like marriage ritual. Before two people become one, they must do butt stuff. I haven't had any drugs at all. I'm just so tired. Please write it and tell us all the butt stuff that happens in Hawaii. That's part of the culture.
You see, this is why I wish you were still doing segments of TikTok for TikTokers. This needs to go.
I'm sure this is gonna make TikTok, just not the way you think. I know you did last summer the series, the butt stuff of streaming television.
Oh, did you know that Jacob playing Mario was also on the MTV Scream series? Apparently, there's all these articles talking about how she's the new Scream Queen. I'm like, no.
Has she been in any features?
47 meters down, Uncaged. I think that was the
Okay.
yeah. It's the standalone sequel to 47
She has
meters
a
down.
lot. Look, there were at least 3 other. We talked about this already. We talked about this, I think, a year or 2 ago. That the chick from X,
Mia Goth,
Mia Goth,
Jenna Ortega,
and the broad from the other broad from Scream.
Melissa something.
Yeah, Melissa McCarthy. I don't know. Melissa Breckenridge. Melissa.
Is this the part where I'm supposed to pull up Wikipedia?
Melissa Benoist. I'm just going to keep saying Melissa's until you figure this out.
Hang on. Scream.
Melissa McInerney.
Barrera.
I was close. Melissa Barrera.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't we say it was going to be like one of them was the new Scream Queen?
I think I argued it was Jenna Ortega, and Robert argued it was Mia Goth.
Yeah.
And to which I think we both just kind of said, well, both are on that list. So
I think my only problem with calling Mia Goth like the new Scream Queen was I don't think the rest of the known universe knows who the fuck she is. They know who Jenna Ortega is. And I feel
That's
like
true.
Jamie Lee Curtis, the world knew.
Very true. Side note, can't wait to see the new season of Wednesday, and can't wait to see Mia Goth in Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein coming out later this year.
Mm.
Hopefully I can get both seasons of Wednesday on here as soon as Mick and I can finally come to something on the schedule. I think we've gone through pretty much everything I had on these notes.
I'm fine
you know,
with this.
it's like, why do we care about these kids? They're assholes. None of the friends could tell Lennon was Allison. God, the adults are just as annoying as the kids. What? Were the CGI rats and spiders necessary? What's up with that edit after Allison hits Dale with the soda can? Swim Fan is apparently an old movie? What the hell? Please tell me what the hell was going on with the weird edit over Finding Dale's story. Wow, the director really wanted any excuse to show nudity. I've lost count of the contrived moments. What the fuck is going on with the male cop? I've lost count of the what the fucks.
Accurate.
Literally, that is my notes throughout reading this, okay? I fell asleep during the last episode. I was watching it on the couch. I had my head on the pillow, and at some point I woke up and Dylan is getting questioned by Peggy the cop. And I was just like, what did I miss?
Perfect. This show sucks.
The show really sucks.
Yeah.
None of these actors have chemistry. The writing is abysmal. It's clear that this was a million different plot lines shoved together without anyone to look over whether or not they actually meshed or made any lick of sense.
The last thing I want to share with you, I actually got to share with you the reception because we're really raking this thing over the coals. This was not that poorly received. Rotten Tomatoes reports a 41% approval rating with an average rating of 5.3 out of 10 based on 46 critic reviews. The consensus reads, a bloodless slasher that fails to congeal I Know What You Did Last Summer's killer cast. Can't make up for the show's many plot holes and unsatisfying twists. Megan Navarro, writing for Bloody Disgusting, gave the series 3 out of 5 stars. Navarro wrote, fantastic deaths and a gripping murder mystery pull you in.
No, it doesn't.
Even when its mostly unlikable leads tend to polarize.
I read some of the reviews on IMDb from just average fans,
Mhm.
and there was a theme I saw in a lot of them that makes a lot of sense, to which they say, okay, so the original I Know What You Did Last Summer came out in 97. So when this came out, fans would be in their late 30s, early 40s, maybe mid 40s to 50s or something in that age range, depending on how old they were. But that's probably like the age group. But this focuses on Gen Z. Why the hell is anyone in Gen Z going to be interested in a movie that came out in 1997?
I think it's actually a brilliant point. Is if you're trying to make nostalgia bait, you have to aim this at the audience that has a connection to it. So I'll tell you a quick story, and then we can end the show. I watched. I told you last night I watched the first I Know What You Did Last Summer with my girlfriend, who is a horror fan, and it's about the only thing in movies she tends to like. She actually wants to go see the new one on Sunday with us when we go, but I take my kids. And by the end of the movie, she was like, "When are you doing your TikTok on this?" And like, I think this is gonna blow up for you. So she had like a whole like social media pitch, but like her premise for the social media pitch on this was people our age, and like, you know, I'm 49, she's I think 47 now, so like people, you know, millennials basically.
Millennials, yeah.
Yeah, like late Gen Xers like myself, or early millennials. This is for them, and so like they remember I Know What You Did Last Summer. They have fond memories of I Know What You Did Last Summer. They would be more likely to watch this, except that anybody who is Gen X, like, so you're millennial, I'm Gen X, right?
Yeah.
We're both sitting here going, this is trash. This should be used for interrogation methods in, you know, in Guantanamo Bay. There's a reference.
This is why with the legacy sequels, like with Scream, they brought back Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette. This is why with the I Know What You Did Last Summer.
They didn't go overboard either with like the Gen Z speak. Like I don't remember Jenna Ortega's character being unbearable to listen to. These people,
I think Robert would have told us if she was unbearable to listen to. I know that's one of his things.
This is unbearable to listen to, and it appeals to a demographic who has no connection to the IP. And I think that's probably its biggest failing, is that they made this show for an audience who has no intrinsic reason to watch it on a platform. I don't think most Gen Zers are watching Amazon Prime.
Unless they're watching The Boys or Has Been Hotel or Invincible.
Yeah, like Invincible appeals to like my son at Gen Alpha. So like I said, but even then, like I don't know how many Gen Zers are watching those things. They might be watching clips on TikTok. That would be more likely. But a full-blown show, that's requiring way too much of that particular generation. And I am the old man of the mountains, and I do not want them painted.
But and again, that's why with the I Know What You Did Last Summer legacy sequel coming out, they're bringing back Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. because there is no other reason.
Jennifer Love Hewitt looks so tired. She's like, "Why am I here? Why are you doing this to me?" Like you can see like the sack of money in the background, and she was like, "Oh, that's right."
Well, I guess they weren't paying her enough for that 911 show that she was watching. And Freddie Prinze Jr.'s voice acting career is kind of stalled since his character was killed off on Star Wars Rebels. So he's got to get paid somehow.
God, Freddie Prinze Jr. is not a good actor.
Not saying anything. He is beloved by Star Wars fans for voicing a really great character. So I'm not going to say anything about that.
Maybe his voice work is good because then I don't have to look at his, you know, dead-eyed face. And on that note, take me home, baby doll.
All right. But yes, guys, seriously, there's a reason this got canceled after one season. Do not bother looking it up, okay? If you are in the mood for slashers, there are far better slasher movies, and there are far better slasher TV shows. If you're interested in a murder mystery show, go watch Only Murders in the Building on Hulu. That show kicks all kinds of ass.
What's a good slasher show that people would actually like?
Oh, okay. Well, let me actually Google slasher TV shows.
Oh, I thought you liked this something that you watched.
Well, apparently there's a show called Slasher, but no.
Oh, wonderful. Very creative.
Slasher style.
I'm going to ask Fancy. You're moving too slow.
Okay, so we have the Scream TV series and Scream Queens. We have American Horror Story.
That's not really a slasher, though, is it?
Some parts of horror. Ash vs. Evil Dead.
I would also not call that a slasher, but okay.
Okay, Midnight Mass.
Not call that a slasher either.
Bates Motel, episodes of Black Mirror.
Okay. I'm done with the segment now. We can move on.
I'm sorry. I was asking Google, okay?
I think of all the ones you said there that
AI.
are not, like, half of them are not actual slasher shows. But the one thing that you did say that kind of pinged my interest was Scream Queen, because I've heard that's good.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, guys, there's so much better material out there. Go check it out. I can't even recommend anything with any of these actors. Okay, maybe they're good, maybe they're not. Maybe this. We've talked before. There are so many times we see an actor in something, and it's a case of they're not bad actors. They just could not survive with the material given.
Well, I don't know. The lady, the head lady Hawaiian cop, I would like to see her do more butt stuff. You keep dragging this out, you're going to keep getting comments like that.
You need to go watch Fet Life and chill out for an hour.
I have other things to do. I have to finish making my album.
You have to finish making your album. I have like 13 orders that I got to mail out by Friday.
Then shut up and take us out already.
That's what I was trying to do. Don't see the show, okay?
In case you didn't pick that up over the last hour.
All right, so we'll be back next week to talk about an actual good show. We're talking season 4 of The Bear. That's going to be me, Mark, David Wright, and Andrew Graham. That's actually going to be kind of fun because the last 3 times we talked about it's just been you and me. This is our first time having David and Andrew come on the show.
I'm going to watch you 3 talk about it, and I'm going to work on podcast stuff.
Oh, fine. If that's your attitude.
I'm going to read the tax code.
As far as other TV parties tonight coming out, we have Resident Alien Season 4. We have Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story, which, by the way, congratulations to the actors. That got a ton of Emmy nominations, as did The Bear. So, good for it. Etta Berry apparently directed an episode of The Bear, and she has been nominated for an Emmy for Best Direction. So, good for her.
When are you doing Generation V with Jesse again?
Need to get that on the schedule. I actually have to do a lot of scheduling this weekend. So next week when we talk The Bear after the show, if you're up for it, I'd like to go over the schedule with you.
Sure.
Because I need to sit down and go through it. But yeah, we got Gen V. We got Twist and Metal Season 2 coming out. That's going to be myself, Jason, and we're bringing back Josh Thino. He was our guest for the first season. He is one of my best friends and my go-to gamer aficionado. So I'm thrilled to have him on the show to discuss that. And also starting next month, we're going to start the Stranger Things retrospective. That's myself and Jesse Starcher. We're going to look through 1 season per month, culminating with our season 5 review. The season 5 teaser trailer just got released today. It looks phenomenal. I am so excited to see this. This has been a great show, and I can't wait to see how they're going to wrap everything up.
Jesse and I have one more season and Andrew have one more season of The West Wing, and then our next retro television review is going to be The Newsroom. We actually have quite a number of things coming up. We've got The Newsroom coming up. Hang on, let me look. We got Black Mirror coming up. We've got West Wing season 7. We'll finally finish that up. I'm making Jesse, speaking of shitty television shows I'm making people review, I'm making Jesse review Paris Has Fallen, which is the television show from the Has Fallen series, which is on Hulu.
I didn't know that they did a series based on. I knew about the movies and all the sequels, but I didn't know there was a series.
They certainly did, Ollie.
Speaking, by the way, of preposterous politicians ending up in life or death situations, is anyone reviewing Heads of State with Idris Elba and John Cena? Because when I saw the trailer for that, all I could think was, oh my God, somebody at the Rattleton Broadcasting Network has got to be salivating.
September 15th, it's a triple feature. It's me, Jesse, and Mick. We are doing Happy Gilmore, 2 Heads of State, and the Thursday Murder Club.
Oh, nice. Good collection.
So then Jesse and I are reviewing the one and only season of Vinyl in October, and then in November, season 1 of Legit, and then in December, season 2. I'm making Jesse review in January White House Plumbers, and then we begin our look at Sports Night, continuing with the Aaron Sorkin stuff, and then Happy, and then The Sopranos, and then we will get to The Sopranos next about a little less than a year from now. By the way, have I told you what my birthday party is next year? My 50th birthday party? It's you, me, Shay, and Jesse talking Grease and Grease 2.
I still don't know how I got roped into that.
Because it's my birthday party, that's why. And I can't make Robert talk about Grease and Grease 2.
Good. I get to talk about how Michelle Pfeiffer is actually an amazing singer, but somebody apparently told her that the best way to sing was to not show any kind of physical emotion while she's singing.
I want a rider that's cool. Yeah.
No, her singing voice is great. I don't know if you saw.
I love Cool Rider. It's dorky, but I love it.
No, it's a good song, but
Yeah.
every time I watch that scene, she is just like so still-faced. It's creepy.
It's amazing Michelle Pfeiffer went on to have any kind of acting career at all after Grease 2.
I was going to say, she was terrific in Hairspray. She was so good in the film adaptation of the musical. I loved her in that role.
Okay, come on, wrap it up, Turkey.
All right. And as far as Damn You Hollywoods, you guys will be back next week to talk. I know what you did last summer. Hopefully you will not be willing to gouge your eyes out like this. But week after that, we're coming back to talk superheroes again. We just talked about Superman, the new James Gunn. Yes, and now we're coming back in 2 weeks to talk Fantastic Four. Looking forward to it. I'm still really excited to see it. So that's a collection of what we got coming up. And as far as the plugs that pay me, the Honeysuckle Hustle, you open the Pandora's box, my friend. This is on you and your fancy.
I can always make another song. I have plenty of material.
I'm sure you do. All right. Honeysuckle Rose Creations, where fashion meets fandom at the intersection of geek and chic. Like I mentioned on our Monday review of Superman, we just inked a deal with Game Headquarters or Game HQ in Oklahoma City. They're going to start selling our wire wrap dice necklaces. So excited. That is now the third shop in the Midwest that is selling our works, along with Mind Games and Magic in Kansas City and Mayhem Collectibles up in Des Moines. Fingers crossed. I'm heading to Colorado Springs actually next month for a show, and I've got a list of shops. I'm hopefully going to be setting up some meetings while I'm there, in addition to doing some much needed hiking out of the Garden of the Gods. I miss hiking through that park. Something fierce. So yeah, we're going to be so like I said, Colorado Springs, and we are going to be doing a first year show coming up here in about it's the first weekend of August. It's in Omaha, Nebraska. They are famously known for their anime NebraskaCon, which they have in the fall. This is a new show just called Comic-Con Nebraska. They reached out to me, asked if I was interested in a table, so I'm going to do that. I'm also putting in a little extra vacation with my bestie. I'm going to take her to the zoo up there. If you've never been to the Henry Dooley Zoo, you are missing out. It is amazing. So looking forward to that. And then the Colorado Springs convention. We always go to that one. We have a lot of fun. They always have incredible celebrities, and the show is just such a blast. And as always, you can find us on our shops on Etsy and Handmade at Amazon. We are putting out some new pieces this week, including a series inspired by an actual good thing to come out of the streaming services, K-Pop Demon Hunters.
I'm surprised you're not reviewing that.
I can't get anyone else who's interested.
Oh.
I mean, it's good. It's good. I wouldn't mind talking about it, but for the record, I think everything that needs to be said about it has been said, because there's already like 15 reviews going, why has Netflix done what Pixar failed spectacularly at?
Okay.
Further, has your daughter seen it yet? I figured she would love it.
I don't know. She watches YouTube.
All right. Tell her I highly recommend K-Pop Demon Hunt. You know,
I will let her know.
The animation is great, and I do not like pop music for the most part. I can't get these songs out of my head. They are that good.
You should get into this band called Fra Diavolo, which is a bunch of chefs and musicians, and they make various style heavy metal songs about food. Fra Diavolo, coming to Spotify very soon. You should get into them.
All right. As always, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Screw You, Twitter, No Regrets, and TikTok. Again, that's Honeysuckle Rose Creations, where fashion meets fandom at the intersection of geek and chic. Were there any other plugs that we missed? Anything else you wanted to talk about?
Fra Diavolo, coming to Spotify, coming soon.
All right. You know what? I think we've been here long enough. I think we've suffered long enough. I got to go start binging The Bear so I can fit all of that in for next week.
That's what she said.
You know, at least I know you're in a good mood, because when you're in a bad mood, you don't make these kind of jokes.
That is correct.
So at least I know I haven't royally
I'm in a good mood, I'm in a good mood, and I'm kind of tired.
It's like, at least I know I haven't royally pissed you off this week.
Fair enough.
Because I mean, I hate to say, I've sent you a ton of TikToks and stuff, and you haven't reacted to them. Like, oh God, is he mad at me?
No, I'm honestly just been busy with other stuff. I don't respond to a lot of stuff people send me. So you're not. Let's put it this way. I assure you, you're not in the doghouse today.
Yay! Today. That can change. All right. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight, everyone. For myself, for Mr. Mark Radulich, have a wonderful evening. And you know what? Don't run over your twins.